First, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Martin. I'm 24 years old. I live in Stockton, California, and I'm a music producer. And I'm just taking this class so I can understand how to mix and master, and just to learn from other people. So what I'm going to do is teach you about trimming real quick, and anything from here. Just going to have to be real brief. I only got 5 minutes for you. So trimming is pretty simple. We want to select the area that we want to keep. So as you can see here, I already have my area selected right here. I'll right click and I'll say trim selected area, but first I'll say I want these two tracks to be trimmed. I'll say trim selected area right here, and notice how the areas have been trimmed, so I have a clear view right there. Okay, so that's it for the trimming. Now to separate a track, all you have to do is keep your cursor on the track that you want to separate. So say I want to separate this area here. I'll right click and then I'll say split at cursor. This is the cursor. Once it's split, you can separate it far away from there. Okay, now you notice I have my tracks split, so I want to do a crossfade. Now to crossfade, you see how I had the track split. All I have to do is put it over another track. It's like pretty much one going over the other. And so as you can see how it's crossfaded here, I can choose how quick it fades. So I want this to fade in a little early than normal. So here we go. And you can see it competing there, how it's going in and going out. That's just the way it works when it crossfades, okay? So with the crossfading again, it's one coming in and the other going out at the same time. Now to merge tracks, notice how I have these two tracks split up. I'm going to select the next track here, right here, and then I'll right click. Now in Reaper it's called glue. So all you have to do is say glue items, and boom, my whole track is back together as such. Okay, so the next thing we're going to go into is the grid. Now my grid, I believe, let me go to my grid settings. My grid settings, it's already set to 1/4. Now you can go even deeper to 1/32 or 1/16, and what it does is it's the way it's clipped to the track. So for example, if I have it snap to grid, it's snapping to grid for every 1/4 bar that I have set up. I can actually go into options, go into snap grid. I want to say enable snapping, uncheck that, and here you go. I can move it freely without it having to snap in one direction. I would say snapping is great for if you measure in measures and beats and ticks, and you know it's perpendicular. It's I guess you could say it's perfect in 1, 2, 4, and 6, and even notes. And if you have tracks that are pretty much like this and it's not set from start to finish, I would unsnap it so I can get it right position where I need to. Alright, so the next thing is the cycle. My version of cycling is taking these two markers, and you'll learn markers at the same time. Markers are your start to finish, left to right. Start to finish are your marker. You'll toggle it right here with this little loop thing and hit play from the area that you start here, like this. And once it completes, let me make it shorter. Once it completes, it'll just start over. And this is my version of cycling or looping. Let me loop that here. So take a look at it. It's going to loop right here. And that's my looping or cycling. And I over talked about the markers. Again, markers is start to finish, left to right. Left is start, finish is right. Okay? And the next thing is zooming. Zooming is pretty simple. I have a PC. I don't have a Mac. So I know Mac, it's the Control and Z. What you want to do to zoom is use your wheel bar and just zoom in. Up is in, out is zooming out. Now another trick too for Reaper, and I believe this works with Pro Tools and Ableton and all these other fun stuff. If you want your tracks bigger, hold Control and then wheel up, and it makes your track zoom in. Okay, Control and the wheel up and down is zoom in for your tracks, and just the wheel up and down is zoom in for your time or your measure. Okay, now to name and color, all you have to do is highlight the tracks that you want. So track 1 and track 2, I want to have them, I want to track color them. I'll say right click on the track, I'll say track color, custom track color, and I'll say red. As you can tell, the tracks that I've selected are now red because I want the the left and the right tracks to be separated. Okay, so the next thing is to change your track name. It's real simple. Just double click where the name is and say piano. Double click where the name is on this part too and say piano again. And there you go. You have your track names and your colors. So I went through over your trim, separating, crossfading, merging, your grid, cycle, markers, zooming, and name and color. Like I said, I only got 5 minutes to tell you guys this, so hopefully this is enough information with the 5 minutes of time that I have. If I'm not getting closer, please let me know and tell me so I can make this presentation a lot better and a lot clearer for you. Just give me tips. I mean, if it was bad, it was bad. I mean, hey, that's just the way it works. Alright, I hope everything works out for you guys. I hope you learned something a little bit. And if not, just let me know. Alright, thank you.